Hello, this is week 13, and this week we're going to look at language and literacy development in the primary years. This can really be a difficult topic for teachers because you're going to have children in your classroom who have a wide span of language development. You may have children that do not even speak English. You may have children that have language difficulties. So TRAWIC Chapter 16 is a very detailed exploration and explanation of phonology, semantics, syntax, and pragmatics. Just a wonderful explanation, and it's a guide for teachers as you're wondering, okay, Junior always speaks this way. Is this something that is just singular to Junior and developmental and he'll grow out of, or do I need to refer him for some testing and see if he needs some speech assistance? Those are very tough questions, but I am hoping that working your way through this chapter will give you some additional guidance in this. So let me go to the assignment for this week because it's all about language and you'll have to work closely with that chapter. This week, you're going to be doing the, is it a deficit or is it just a developmental issue? Does this child need special intervention? For each one of these, look at the phonology, look at semantics, look at syntax, and look at pragmatics before making your decision. And be very specific for each one on whether or not this child needs any assistance or not. Offer 2 or more suggestions that you, the classroom teacher, could implement to help children overcome any language deficit that you do identify. Because for some children, it's really not a deficit, it's just a difference. So it's very important to recognize difference versus deficit, because if it's a deficit, we want to get it taken care of and get them some help. I have just a very short PowerPoint here on just some real practical things. You know, when you're talking pragmatics is the social rules of language. How loud do you talk in the classroom versus how loud do you talk in a library? How far away do you stand from the other person when you speak to them? Those are the kinds of social rules that I'm talking about. And they're going to be different. They're going to be different for different places. They're going to be different in different cultures. And so that's something to think about. The other thing I want you to pay close attention to is registers and register switching. A register is the format that you use to talk. For instance, when you speak to your best friend, you will speak in a different way than you speak to your doctor, or than you speak to your boss. Register is going to be different, and that's something children have to learn and negotiate. It's not something you're born knowing. So this is something 6 to 9-year-olds begin to develop, is that you don't speak the same to everybody. They also learn how to joke and kid around, and you're usually the one they come and tell the joke to and expect big laughs, which is great. Unfortunately, they also sometimes learn how to lie. And they learn about sarcasm, and that can be unhappy in the classroom. They also learn print referencing, such as when they see things in print, they know that some things are printed a certain way because it's supposed to be loud, or it's printed a certain way because it's supposed to be soft. Print referencing is something that's not recognized usually until they're well on their way to 2nd or 3rd grade. That's why 1st graders usually read every word just exactly the same with no feeling to it. It's pretty flat. but as they go along, they do put some emotion into it. And then I have also added just this mini lesson here. So interesting to watch. Sometimes they have these master teachers, and this is one, uses great strategies to support her first graders as they're learning their literacy. And, you know, these questions here are just for you to think about, nothing for you to answer, but just think about it as you're watching. And then for those of you who are not familiar with the differences in first, second, and third grade reading, these are first graders, second graders, and third graders, and you can really see the progression in the reading development. And then again, you've got the writing progression. You've got a typical first grader and a typical second grader and a typical third grader. I just threw this in for those who are maybe not as seasoned in the classroom as others, because it can be interesting to see that children really do have a definite progression in their reading and writing practice. Okay, so let me go back here, and if you have any questions at all about this particular week's work, please let me know, and we'll set up a Zoom. If you have any questions about enrollment for spring, again, please let me meet with you, or we can visit on the phone. Either way is fine. Have a wonderful week. Bye.